Unforgettable moments perfectly etched in sports history. The best of the best over the last 2 decades. Welcome back to 11 on the Last 20. I'm your host, Chad Landers. Thanks for tuning in to our latest countdown here on Blue Ridge 11. Today, we're looking back at the best sports moments from our coverage area that aired on Blue Ridge 11 over the past 20 years. Now, these are epic, historic moments, but the only caveat is that they had to be seen right here on the channel. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and see who made our list. Number 11. 2010 Cocalico Field Hockey State Finals appearance.
That team there was talented front to back.
2010 was pretty special. The expectations were somewhat high. We graduated 0 seniors. We had one in 09 who was injured and therefore wasn't able to play. So the group that led the 2010 season was technically, they were seniors for 2 years in a row. They were the group that led the program for 2 years. 2009 was also a difficult year.
A great honor was given to a member of the team's family.
My father was diagnosed with cancer right at the onset of the season. So he was a huge supporter of field hockey in general, but especially, of course, our team. Me coaching, my daughter playing. So the team watched my father basically decline in health and eventually pass just a few days after we lost in the first round of states in 2009. And I'm a firm believer that those kids watched something that was bigger than life. And they watched something that was bigger than sports. It was larger than them. And they experienced, watching a human being lose his life. They became very connected to my dad. We're a part of his memorial service, and I truly believe that that carried into our 2010 success. At that point in time, we had won 7 section titles in a row. We had gone undefeated for multiple seasons within our section, so no one wanted to be the group that lost that first game in the section. We had some close calls because of some complacency, but we maintained our section record. It was a very successful season.
Here's Page, shot high, back of the cage and in for the score.
Looking back, it was very successful. In the moment, it felt odd. We did not win a league title. We did not win a district title. In fact, we took the difficult road to state, which we tended to do year in and year out.
And then you get Emmaus in the state title game.
Another beautiful fall day in November in the Lehigh Valley as Emmaus will take on Cocalico for the right to be called the 2010 Field Hockey Class 3A champion in the state.
So not only are you pumped you're going to a state title game, first ever in Cocalico field hockey history, then you get Emmaus going up for their 10th state title, I think, at the time, and that team is 26-0. So it couldn't have been more intimidating, and that team just didn't care. They were going to come out and put on a show, and they did that for sure.
Taylor Kidwell, the junior, will look to put it in just the right spot. Does to Whitmer. Whitmer will wind and fire. Redirect. Goal! Cocalico's tied it.
Losing to Emmaus in the state final, it's not what you wanted. I told the kids when we rolled up on the bus, there's only 2 teams playing today and we're one of them. And that is a huge accomplishment in itself. And no matter what happens at the end of the day, we are winners and our season is successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagles of Cocalico High School, your PIAA state runner-ups.
For Cocalico, just in general in athletics, that was the first state title game ever in the history of girls sports at Cocalico. But not only that, that was the first state title game in Cocalico history in like 33 years. The previous state title would have been, I think, the 1977 boys basketball team, and that was it. And they won, but nobody had made an appearance since then. And here comes the 2010 team, and they truly earned that berth in that title game. When you look back at some of the post-game pictures from that game, even the medal ceremony, they're pumped, they're in the state title game, they're grateful, but they're all so upset that they lost. You can't teach that drive and that motivation. Yes, they were at a place where no field hockey player at Cocalico could ever say that they had been, but you knew that they wanted it deep down, and that silver medal to some degree wasn't quite good enough for them. And that really speaks to that team's tenacity and motivation.
I cannot be more proud of that group, what they did for the program, not just themselves. At the end of the day, when you get home and you have freshmen and freshman parents coming up to you and saying, oh my gosh, we want to be that team. We wanted, all of a sudden they're changing from soccer to field hockey. They've really bought into the sport. That's what it's all about.
A final round of applause for the Eagles of Cocalico High School.
Number 10, 2011 Manheim Central Softball State Finals appearance.
Well, the expectations kind of came off the year prior. We went into districts and we wanted to get a little bit of a feel for it, because we knew we had this team back for 2 more years coming, and we wanted to get, do a little bit of a run, but we actually ended up going against the first seed team. But we ended up losing to them in the bottom of the 8th and got a lot of experience through it and realized at that point, this group can be special.
Campbell is swinging 3-0, and she bounces one back up the middle, 3-0 Barons.
And so at that point, a couple days later, we got them together and said, all right, what's our expectations? What do you guys want to do? What's your goals? And they were all like, we want to go to states. Well, obviously there's a lot of little steps in between there, but we kind of went with the thought process of, it's when hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And we had the talent, but if it doesn't work hard, it's not going to get us anywhere. And that's when the mission kind of started.
Popped up, right center field. And it's going to fall in front of Hassinger for a base hit.
What a run they went on. And that was a team that you saw building. The amount of talent they had was just truly remarkable. But what really kind of stands out to me is you look back that season, and I think it was about halfway through the season, they clicked it into another gear.
Then at that point became 1 out, 1 hit, 1 game. That's how we roll.
Ginder with that great arm throws out Marinkoff without much of a problem.
I think the level of play in the Lancaster-Lebanon League really got them ready for a run in not only in districts but in states. When you play Donegal, LS, E-Town, these are all quality softball programs. And Manheim Central fared very well against them. And I just think that to really kind of be battle tested, it got them ready for the next level.
From University Park, the Pennsylvania Cable Network presents the PIAA Softball Championships. In today's 3A matchup, it is the Manheim Central Barons, the champions of District 3 at 26-4.
They went up and played a great game in that state championship game.
Sharply through the left side. Grizan being held no, she comes through at third, and she will score as she beats the throw by Piper.
And unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, but the team, had every reason to, hold their heads high, and it was just an exciting team to cover.
Well, you girls showed so much leadership. You had a young team around you, and you girls brought some young people and got them in a position to get that trophy.
This is a program on the rise, and to get to the state championship game, that's the pinnacle.
It was something you dream of. I mean, you had those goals, and but to actually achieve it, because the thing was we wanted to go to states and do damage. It wasn't we wanted to be a state champion, because you just don't know. And there's a lot of luck along that way too. The younger girls in the program the numbers started going up even more, because obviously they saw what was going up at the high school, and they wanted to be a part of it. Manheim's been one of the teams that everybody looks in their schedule and knows they're gonna be in for a tough one. The fact that we actually were going to have the opportunity to do that for the first time ever at Manheim Central, and softball-wise, it was really, really special.
Number 9, 2019 Manheim Central Wrestling League Championship.
That kind of situation might not be replicated in the rest of our time.
Welcome into the 25th annual Lancaster-Lebanon League Wrestling Championship. I remember Jan Minnick and I preparing and talking about what would happen that day there at the finals. 23 teams, over 210 wrestlers, all narrowed down to the top 28 in these championship finals. We always did it. We always covered it for Blue Ridge. And I remember talking to Jan. Northern Lebanon was so good and had won so many team titles over the years. And I always asked Jan his expert opinion, who do you think is going to take the team title here? And he was like, yeah, Northern Lebanon. But Manheim Central was there 10 points behind on Saturday. The first day was rough, of course, but 10 points behind, and Jan was just, well, they're there. And I said, wouldn't it be something if they had the guys? We knew they were good. We knew they could compete, but wouldn't that be something if they could do it? And Jan said, yeah, that'd be a moment.
We're so far behind that, I actually said to the kids the next day coming in, I was like, there's no chance we're winning this. It's over. And I looked at him and I said, and I don't mean that to sound negative. I mean that as a way to, it's now about you. There's no pressure. You're not wrestling for the team. You're not wrestling for this or that. You're wrestling for yourself. Just have fun.
And as those results started to come in after each championship bout, Jan and I would eyebrows raised, and there we go, ooh, Manheim Central is making some noise here. These guys are getting bonus points in the consolation bracket. And little by little, that light bulb starts to go off. Can they do this? And we started doing the math and what was needed. And then the guys that were actually winning championships for the Barons, Will Betancourt, of course, Cade Zemer took one, Keegan McCord, and then it all added up. And on the broadcast, if you rewatch it, I think it's really funny. You know, Jan and I, you can see the gears turning a little bit. Like, what do they need?
So Central's was in third. They just leapfrogged Penn Manor again. So 178.5.
So they need a tech, which is rare at heavyweight. I would say that they need a fall from Tyler Doherty to take home the team title, or else it goes to Northern Lebanon.
And then Jan would go off and find somebody and ask them, you know, what's the tally now? He'd come back and then would report. But then, so it all came down, 285 pounds.
And the drama elevates.
Heavyweight, Tyler Doherty from Mannheim Central Wrestling, Lampeter Strasburg, Zach Shelley.
A couple people came up to me, and even Coach Wallace comes up to me and goes, "You guys are gonna win this." And I look at him, it's like, no. And I pull him to the side before, and I was like, I was flat. I said, "Tyler, here's the deal." I said, "I have to tell you two things." I said, and I want you to understand, I'm telling you them in the order that I truly believe. First off, all right, this is your tournament, and I want you to go out there and I just want you to wrestle. I want you to have fun, right? And I want you to wrestle for yourself. However, being the coach, I have to tell you this. I said, please, this is not for pressure. This is just, I wouldn't be doing my duty if I at least don't make this known. I said, if you get into a position where you can pin the kid, right? That will win the league title for us. And so, but I told him, I was like, please understand, like, I'm putting this in the order that I truly believe. I was like, I just want you to wrestle your match. I just want you to go out there and win. He goes out. It was just something you could see, like, wait. He's got it in his mind that he's going for this, right? He knows, right, about, like, he's a football player. He knows about team, right? And he wants to win this for himself, but he wants to do it for the team. So they go back. He locks up a half, and he doesn't force it, right? He runs it slow. The minute he goes over, I look at my assistant like, this is actually going to happen. Like, this is seriously going to happen.
Oh, if he can turn him here, it's danger.
Oh, man.
This could be a team title winning move.
All he has to do is reload on it. Holy cow, he got it. Holy smokes, Brian.
And so he gets the pin.
Tyler
Doherty got the fall with a half Nelson. That might have done it. It might have earned Mannheim Central a team championship.
I think it did. Coach Chamberlain, smiles.
Our fans go nuts. He goes nuts. I go nuts. I'm jumping up and down. And it dawns on me, right? I look at my assistant coach afterwards. I was like, we were not leading the tournament until that point.
Those guys just went nuts.
Absolute euphoria from the Baron faithful. Yeah, I mean, and everybody was out of their seat, of course, and yeah, it was a pretty epic match. Something Tyler Doherty you'll never forget.
For him to be the one that did it, I thought just encapsulated our team mantra, right? Because we're a family, right? We live by the code of honor, discipline, family. Got to live honorably, got to be disciplined, but we are a family, right? And he's the one that picked us up at the end. He's the one that did it, and it's every family member matters. And I think he's just perfect person to encapsulate that.
So there's your Mannheim Magic, folks.
Yeah.
Tyler Doherty's used to that. Built a whole career on Mannheim Magic, on the gridiron, and now on the mat.
Our countdown is just beginning, but coming up next, we look back at the best sports moments from number 8 through number 6. It's all ahead on 11 of the last 20.